Hello dear soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today's video I'm going to be teaching on how I made this beautiful dress with keyhole neckline and a Basque V-shaped skirt. Now if you're interested in making this for yourself, please stay tuned and hit the subscribe button as you watch. Now first and foremost we're drafting our pattern, and this is the inspiration of the dress that I want to make. So looking at the picture, there is an half length, which is the first half length, and there is a second half length, which is where we're going to be putting our gathers. So this is my pattern paper and my ruler. I'll first of all start by creating a starting line, and from that line I'll be taking my measurements. So first of all, I'll be taking my half length, which is on my waistline of 16 inches. I'll take that line all the way to the end of the pattern paper. So after connecting the line, I'll take from that starting line and mark my shoulder to underbust, which is 13 inches. Now all the measurements that will be needed for cutting this dress, I'm going to be putting down the measurements at the description below, so go ahead to check it out. So after marking down this line, I'll go ahead to label them for recognition: my shoulder line, underbust and half length. So at the shoulder line, I'll divide my shoulder into two, which is 8 inches. Now from that 8 inches, I'll mark my armscye of 8 inches as well. To know your armscye, you can measure your round arm and divide it into two, or whatsoever your shoulder to nipple. Fabric, that point is going to be your dart. So the way it is drafted, Remember, I've already added my darts for the back pattern already and the sewing allowance. So then after doing this, you're going to cut. In the picture, there is a dart in the front and at the back of the skirt. So I'll take 1 inch for that my dart. I'm just going to create the darts for you to know the points to follow. The dart is 3.5 inches and then the length is 4 inches. So you're just going to create your dart there. You can decide to cut it out or just follow this pattern when you're sewing on your fabric. So I've already brought out 1 inch for the dart allowance, and then I'm also adding 1 inch on my sewing allowance. I'm going to connect all of that with my ruler. So as you can see, the Basque waistline is starting from the hip line. So I'm just going to use my ruler to draw a slant from that hip line to the skirt length. So that bottom part will not be needed anymore. I'll be cutting the front pattern of the skirt, and then I'll place on my fabric to cut at the back and add the zipper allowance of 1 inch. Looks. So this is the look, and this is how it's going to be when you finish sewing it. So you're just going to open that remaining part that is not open. So this is the back pattern I've already cut and added my sewing allowance. So like I said, the back pattern is into two pieces, and then measurement at the end after I was done sewing. But if you're skeptical about it, you can. But I'm going to measure what I have. not draw from the beginning, you're going to draw it a little bit, and that's going to give that edge of your gathers tightening. So do this for both sides of the gathers. Then you can now fix it on your main fabric, your main dress. So this is the front and back of my dress together. I've hemmed my neckline with my bias tape and then fixed my zipper at the back. So then to fix the gathers, I'll bring the gathers together and mark the midpoints. Then I'll also fold my fabric, my main dress together, and also notch the midpoints. But already the midpoint is the V shape, so you can either notch it or you already know the midpoint. So I'll place the gathers on top of one of the side and then sew with 1/2 inch. Then after I sew to half of the point, then I'll sew the other side just following the V shape. So after doing this, you can join your shoulder, then fix your sleeve if you're fixing a sleeve, or if you want to leave it sleeveless, then you can hem the sleeve part with your bias tape. And then after doing that, you can shape your dress with 1 inch, or you can take your body measurements, and then after that, that is all for the dress. Thank you guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content.